From the studios of Books in Motion, this is Damon Abdallah reading Cozy Up to Trouble by Colin Conway. Now, let's begin with Chapter 1.
You can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old.
George Burns. When the elevator car dinged its impending arrival, Skeeter Dursky lifted his head. He'd been staring at his scuff-free work boots and pondering the choices that led him here. The here, he considered, wasn't the physical place where he stood, holding a red toolbox in his right hand and a bucket of plumbing materials in his left. That place was the Lake Michigan Tower, a retirement community overlooking the body of water of the same name. Skeeter rarely wasted time contemplating his existence. That sort of thing only happened while in prison, which he planned to avoid seeing again. Instead, he ruminated about being alone in his mid-30s. He'd been by himself since leaving home as a teenager. However, it seemed the past several weeks were the most relevant for this self-assessment. Skeeter had met a girl he couldn't forget and hoped to see again someday. He shook those thoughts away as the elevator settled noisily into place. Soon he would board the car and begin his next task for the day, if the doors would ever open. His gaze lifted to the floor counter above the neighboring elevator. It had been at the top, the 17th, but was now descending. Saxophone-heavy jazz music filtered through the lobby speakers. Nearby, an automatic air freshener misted out a timed scent. It smelled of cinnamon and pumpkin, a reminder of the impending holiday. Next to Skeeter, Otto Cantrell grunted, "That smell." Otto was the building's maintenance supervisor. He made a face and disgustedly wiped a finger under his nose. "It's like Thanksgiving threw up." Part of Skeeter's new job was customer service. The worst part, it seemed. Even though he didn't feel happy, he forced a smile. Skeeter wanted to present the best image possible to whomever exited the elevator. Since today was only his third day, he was trying to make a good impression on everyone he met. The elevator still hesitated to open, which left Skeeter grinning at a closed lift. Otto glanced sideways at him and scrunched his nose. "Call that a smile? What's wrong with it? You look like an axe murderer." Skeeter's smile evaporated, which seemed to make Otto happy. Even in heavily polished work boots, Otto was a good 6 inches shorter than Skeeter, and more than 30 years older. It was hard to determine the man's exact age, and Otto never felt the need to reveal it. The older man furrowed his brow. "What's up with these doors?" As if on command, the elevator opened, and 4 silver-haired women appeared. Each was dressed in a pair of nicely pressed slacks and a vividly colored blouse. Their faces seemed to brighten upon recognizing Otto Cantrell. Before arriving at the Lake Michigan Tower, Skeeter learned that being polite went a long way with regular citizens. He opened his mouth to utter a phrase of civility, but Otto stepped in front of him and spread his arms wide, a showman stealing the limelight. "Good morning, ladies. You're looking lovely today, especially you, Shirley." The 4 women surrounded the older man. Each said, "Good morning, Otto," in some nauseatingly sing-song fashion. After that, they beamed and tittered about the man. Otto relished the moment. Only Shirley Tilson noticed Skeeter, and she did so because she had to step by him to get closer to Otto. When she bumped into Skeeter's toolbox, it caught the hem of her blouse and pulled it wide. She harumphed, quickly pulled the garment free, but didn't bother to say anything to Skeeter. He was a large man with broad shoulders and thick arms. It was unusual for people not to pay some attention to him. Even if it was due to fear, they usually noticed him. With the long sleeves of his work shirt down, only a tattooed fireball on his right hand remained exposed. On those rare times he rolled up his sleeves, the copious amount of ink on his forearms was revealed. The tattoos often got stares, if not outright glares, from older folks. Most of the residents at the tower, however, acted as if he were invisible. Perhaps it was his clothes. Like Otto, he wore a drab green uniform that made him look like an overripe avocado. Skeeter's grandmother once told him that the clothes make the man. These garments made him an assistant maintenance technician. Maybe it was Skeeter's age that caused the residents to disregard him. He was probably half the age of everyone that resided in the building. But wouldn't that be an endearing quality to them? Skeeter's grandmother had
Sample complete. Ready to continue?